Okay, so this is the document that I have already provided to you. So in this case, you can see there is a three things that I have already asked: success URL, failed URL, and callback URL. So what is the purpose of these three URLs? When the payment will be verified from our side, then a user will get redirected to the success URL. If the payment is failed, means when the session will expire, then user will be redirected to the failed URL. And if payment is verified, then in that case you will also get a response in the callback URL. That's a transaction response. So at the end of this video, I'll show you what kind of response you will get on the callback URL. So for testing purpose, we will give you the API key ID and secret key. We have already given you. So this will be given from our side. You have to give me these three things: success URL, failed URL, and callback URL. In that case, I have already given success URL and failed URL as a website of Fynzon. If you will not provide, then okay. But you have to give me callback URL, because then only you will get the response on this callback URL. So in this document, you can see the header and the parent part. So this is the URL of the API. In the last, you see there is a param called API key ID. So the credentials that I have shared you, API key ID and API secret key. So what is the role of these two is, you have to pass the API key ID as a param in the request URL for that API URL, and the API secret key you have to pass it in the header as a X API key. The name of header is X API key, and here you have to pass that API secret key. So these two are different. Remember, API key ID you have to pass in the API URL as a parent, and the API secret key you have to pass in header, and the name of header is X API key. Okay. So these all are the request body details, and you can go through all these documents. I'll show you in the Postman. So you can see here, this is the API key ID, and in the header part XAPI key, this is the API secret key. So it is compulsory to pass these two parameters, otherwise you will get an error messages. So once these two are correct, then you have to call the API from your UI side. So I'll do it in the Postman. Okay, so you can see you get a response, message, error, and data. In data, there is an object and there is a field called redirect URL. So what you have to do, your UI developer will redirect the user to this URL. So in Postman, I'll just copy it and paste it in the code. But from your side, your UI developer has to redirect the user to this website, to this URL. To get a screen something like this, here you have to scan the QR code. After payment is successful, then you have to take the last four digit of UPI reference number, same I have mentioned here, or UTR number. Put it here and put the amount that you have paid. So I'll show you. It is 9774, 9774, and the amount is 1. Okay. After doing this, let me check that it is running. Okay. Now I'll submit. So verification successful, and it is redirected to fynzon.com, because I have given that URL fynzon.com here. Now I'll show you what kind of response we get here to call back. So you see this kind of response you will get in the callback. I got it in my terminal because I have given the URL path, that is my own URL. So this is what you have to provide me, the API URL where you will get the response, that callback URL. So this kind of response you will get once the payment is verified. Here email, name, payment mode, date, UTR, amount, and other IDs available. This remember, you will get this only once you will provide me the callback URL. I'll update that URL in the DB, and then you will get the response when the payment is verified. This is very important. So this is all, and then at last we will provide you a report section also in the Fynzon, where you will get the total amount that your user has already paid to our platform. So we will provide you that report section in the Fynzon.com website. Okay, thank you so much.